Warning: this show contains strong language, brutal opinions, and zero apologies given. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Welcome to Savage Unfiltered, where truth gets raw, opinions stay real, and nothing is off limits. This isn't your average podcast. It's the unfiltered conversation you've been craving. Politics, culture, chaos, we're diving into it all. No scripts, no safe spaces, just savage takes and real talk. You're in the right place. Strap in. It's time to get unfiltered. Savage.
Hey guys, what's going on? How you doing? Guys, I've been battling this this incident for the last now going on 2 days. And I did a recording through a live stream the other day, and I was battling it a little bit, but now it affects me every now and then when I start, doing some certain posture moves and stuff like that. I'm just not myself, guys. What happened with me was I was brutally attacked by a maniac in North Atlanta, and it's very rare that you see individuals like this more or less walk around the area, near businesses. And if you guys are not well aware of North Atlanta, it's normally safe. The crime rate in North Atlanta is very low. I think it's like about possibly 10 or 15%. And I'm not just making up that number. It's very, very low. Atlanta police normally make their presence uh, to be known uh, within high standards. So for an individual like this to commit, a crime uh, is surprising. And I'm going to go into the story though, but I want to bring Joe into this because, obviously Joe is, I've spoken to him off the air of what happened. I've sent some pictures, which if you check out my social page on X, which I put a lot of, content on there, you'll see the swelling is on my, you know, on my side there, my torso. So, and it's not as bad as it was. Obviously, the cream that I've been prescribed is working, and it's just I'm gonna go into it a little bit, guys. It's not gonna be a lengthy episode, just like an update on my health, um, but the radicalism has to stop, and you'll understand what I mean, and which I think led up to this attack to a recent live stream that Joe and I and Sauce were basically doing about now 3 days ago. So I'm gonna bring Joe into this. Joe, obviously, welcome into the show. I'm not.
Yeah, normally I would joke because you said you're not quite yourself. Normally I would applaud and say we like it when you're not you. It's better if you're somebody else. But today is no laughing matter, no joking matter.
No, it's not a joking matter. It's it's I've given serious thought, and Joe made this comment through a text message recently. I think it was the other day. I forgot the timestamp on it, but it doesn't matter as long as he's shown concern about it and said, I shouldn't joke though, but you should consider on hiring some type of bodyguard or people to walk alongside of you. I shouldn't have to do that, folks. We should
No.
live in a country that does not, lead to violence or mayhem or chaos. We should be able to, walk down the street with our family, our friends, our colleagues, anybody,
Yeah.
without being provoked by maniacs like these.
This is shocking. It's upsetting, but it's not at all a surprise. The left always resorts to violence.
Mm,
They lie, they cheat, they steal. So, violence is the next logical step. If anyone opposes their lying, their cheating, and stealing, they call everyone else a Nazi. And I've written on this tinyurl.com/fascocrats. They literally, this isn't the 1930s where the Nazi Socis, yeah, they were socialist morons. The Nazi Socis were fighting the Moscow backed communists for control of Germany in the 30s. Same with El Duce in Italy and Franco in Spain.
uh,
The Nazi Socis, later known as fascists, they are all one and the same now. They all resort to violence. They have to beat down those who oppose them because they can't win hearts and minds through discussion. They
yeah.
must dictate. They literally are the fascists.
Mm,
Federal government. They want more federal dictates,
mm,
dictates, dictatorship,
absolutely.
fascism. If you don't get that, we want less government. That's fucking the opposite of being a Nazi or a fascist.
Yeah.
You fucking morons.
You know,
But
and
again, yeah, they're brown shirts, they're black shirts.
uh,
Antifa is not anti-fascist. Uh,
yeah.
Occupy Wall Street, all of black lying Marxists, all of them,
Yeah,
they
let me
get violent,
Yeah, Joe,
always.
if you mind here, let me show you here, guys, as I kind of
Some of the
shared
comments,
my
yeah.
comments here. Just from the last episode, Joe and Sauce and I have done. With the last comments. I mean, literally, folks, this is the type of violence that I receive on a daily basis, mainly on X. Some on TikTok, but mainly on X. With this right here, the MAGA hat with
Yeah.
the skull, and
What do you oppose? You want to go back to double-digit inflation? You want to go back to $4 gas? You want to go back to eggs costing 10 times as much? What exactly do you want to go back to?
mm,
Be honest about it.
yeah.
You
And
can't, you won't.
guys, I shouldn't have to show you these posts and images though, but I'm doing it to let you know, if you guys are receiving, threats, if you're receiving hatred amongst
Yeah.
myself and possibly Joe or anybody here, you're not
They,
alone, folks.
the local police station has a folder on me, the death threat, because of my book, Terror Strikes Coming Soon to a City Near You. Leftards that have read it don't like it because I call out you commie fasci socis. I go into that you are the modern Nazis. That's why you engage in projection.
Yeah.
I back up what I say with fact,
Now,
not feeling. So I get death threats.
now, here's one comment I want to go into here. You just got savage. It says, "Yeah, man, if American can't protect children, then it deserves to be burned. Eat fucking shit, dirtbag. Fuck you." I mean, this is just the amount, folks, is crazy. I mean,
Who held all that stuff for 4 years? Biden. Who hid it?
exactly.
Right. Who's been releasing information that we can? Us, Republicans, Trump, been releasing the information. It's your liberal judges put it under seal. You leftists are the ones protecting the pedophiles. That's all Sauce was saying, and Trump is saying. I like I said on that show, I don't like Trump calling it a hoax because they can twist that word. Were underage girls exploited? That's not a hoax. That happened. What
Now,
is a hoax
uh,
is pulling Trump into this,
now
like
here
with the Russian collusion bullshit.
exactly. Now here's one here. I'll pull it up in the thing right here. I mean, they're diving deep on me, folks. Really. I mean, now they're going back to posts like from a year, 2, 3 years ago, where they actually put this here, and I'll go into it. Yet you were out here with your yarn, pins, and corkboard well after Trump burned his pursuit. They're basically referring to a post I put in about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago. A former member of the CIA is connected to Epstein. I just figured it out. It will come out soon. I was right about the truth about COVID and other major U.S. events in history, and we'll be right about this. Watch, folks. This is, I mean, literally. I'm going down. I'm scrolling down. Through my feed. It's ongoing. It doesn't stop. I'm looking at this
Right.
right now, Joe, and it's
And
well over.
you and Sauce are right in the point that the left, the ones in the know, claim they want to get to the bottom of the stuff, but they don't. It's all deflection.
Mhm.
It's all, can we project the leftist guilt again, the Harvey Weinsteins, the right, all Hollywood pedowood. You have been protecting them on the left for decades.
Yeah,
We have been talking about it. So don't pretend, oh, we're trying to cover it all up now. No, there are national security issues involved that do need to be kept quiet, that are touchy,
yeah,
but some of you pedophiles need to go to jail. Absolutely,
yeah,
positively.
yeah. And I'm not doing this to try to catch attention. I'm not doing this to, to, for anything, folks. But it is catching the attention that it's catching is catching attention from maniacs on X, and that wasn't my main purpose. My main purpose was uh, to post something for justice for these pedophiles and for these monsters to be prosecuted. Nothing. My intention wasn't to provoke, wasn't to edge it on, wasn't to do any of that. None of my posts are. But I mean, I'm looking at it right now, and it has gone up to about a little less than 2 million views. I think it's like 1.900 views. 1 million
Yeah,
900 views.
yeah.
You know,
More
with
than one.
over Joe, with over like 6 to 7,000 comments and counting.
Yeah,
Mainly radical individuals that are catching it almost like a fly
projectionists.
trap. Yeah.
Leftist projection, right? More than one thing, as the saying goes, can be true at the same time. The
Mhm.
pedophilia happened. People need to be prosecuted. At the same time, you leftists, your judges are the one that sealed the files.
Mm.
Unseal the files. Release the flight logs. We all know that could happen. It is true that all that happened, but it is also true you leftards now are using it as a deflection, as a distraction. That isn't to say what happened didn't happen. Nobody is saying that. No one said it. No one is saying it. No one will say it. You keep lying,
Mm.
creating straw men about what we're saying.
Mm.
Because as always, you lie. You have to lie.
Absolutely. And for those that are wanting to understand how this escalated, even what happened to me, okay, and possibly it happened to you, which I hope not, but maybe it did. But this is relating to an episode we did which was a live stream regarding the Epstein saga of unraveled power, politics, and conspiracy. That including myself, Joe, and Sauce in the
Yeah.
mix.
And it's
And you can
important
you
to
can go back and check that episode out,
yeah.
guys.
And
Yeah.
it's important to note that was a live stream.
Mm,
We do a lot of shows.
mm,
When you're doing something live, we're human. We're frail. We're flawed. We might not articulate something as well as we should at times. I know what Sauce meant when he said certain
absolutely.
things.
Yeah.
I don't like the way he vocalized it. And I think if given the chance, if he had more time to think about it, if he were writing a book on the subject, he would choose his words more carefully. When you're doing live, shit comes out wrong at times.
Yeah.
I know what he meant. I know what Mike means.
Yeah.
Sometimes things don't come out right, but if
Well,
you watch the show enough, you know us.
yeah,
You know our hearts. You know
absolutely.
our honor and our integrity and want to. How often do I go on and on about the slaughter of babies in the womb? You
Mm,
leftists want to kill children in the womb.
yeah.
We are the ones who want to protect human life. Who's fighting what's going on in DC now? There was a 12-day period where there were no murders. You leftards out protesting, demanding killing in the streets to be returned. You're definitely fucking
That's what we're gonna do. Expose you. All right, do it.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's a
we
clear
are
example
for
of what's
life.
going on. That was
Yeah,
actually in
we
New York City, Joe. Yeah.
yeah, we are for life and coexistence. You claim to be tolerant. You're the least tolerant people on the fucking planet.
Mm, yeah. I mean,
And you
the
always
violence
resort to violence.
the violence in America, it must come to an end. There is no doubt about that. And
The murder of all the presidents, leftists. The
mm,
school shootings, leftists.
mm,
Might there be an occasional something of someone who would be considered to be on the right side of the spectrum? Yes. Yes, but it's not the inanimate object, it's the human evil. To God gave us free will. They could choose evil, but for every one incident of a violent act happening from someone on the right side of the spectrum, I can fucking come up with 999 leftards to count. That is the rule, not the exception. The left always gets violent. That's the rule. Someone on the right getting violent is
yeah.
an occasional exception.
And you see this clearly in in the video here, with the narrative that they want to put white on black crime, which obviously, folks, it does happen. It does, but
Yeah,
be honest with you, we do normally see black on white crime. I've seen it here in Atlanta. I've seen it in other
it
cities.
depends on the region of the area of the country. But yeah, the crime stats show it. They don't lie. Leftists lie.
Well,
It's like the DC crime.
they're
They
pushing the
want
narrative,
the
Joe.
cops to not report the crimes so they can fake, like Jessica left Tardlov on the Five a couple weeks ago, lying. They don't want to end the crime. They just want to falsify the
Well, they're
stats,
pushing that,
like the
Joe.
climate data you
Yeah. Yeah, let me
falsified.
get this in here real quick because we're gonna close out in about a minute or two. But they're basically saying that and this is the narrative they're pushing on violence here. They're basically saying that white on black crime is 60% higher per capita than than black on white crime. They're saying white on black is higher than black on white. Actually, folks, I don't buy that. I think the true number what you would see, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a white individual, but I see the statistics. I see the truth behind it.
It
Okay,
depends on the region.
I see in most cities, major cities. Okay, right now in Atlanta, if you look at it, it might different depending on the platform you're looking at. But if you look at true statistics, okay, true statistics right here in the city of Atlanta will show that black on white violence is literally out of control. And it will say that it is 41 times higher, between 40 to 50% higher in my city as well as other cities. I can't speak on Detroit, I can't speak on Chicago, New York City,
Yeah.
LA. It's
Well,
different.
this goes back to Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah,
Content of care. I don't care black on white, white on black, black on black, white on white. Crime is crime, and you've got to stop protecting criminals. White or black or pink polka dotted, most of the crime is committed by a small percentage of people that commit multiple crimes and do so over and over. That's why broken windows policy in New York with Rudy Giuliani cleaned up the city. You
absolutely.
get the fucking criminals off the streets for the petty crimes, then they're not there to commit the bigger crimes.
Yeah. Now to kind of go into what happened, which think you guys should, you know, understand real quick. I want to keep this episode short. I don't want to go into lengthy. Just a little update of what happened to me and
We're way over on everything these days. Yeah.
comments on, like on violence too, which it's out of control. But Joe, I was visiting my favorite Italian restaurant in North Atlanta. Okay, very, very luxurious, nice Italian restaurant, which I will not go into names for their privacy and my privacy. Okay, I don't want maniacs follow me all over the place, but it was in North Atlanta in a very, very nice section of Buckhead. That's all you need to know. Buckhead, Atlanta, guys, if you're not well aware, is a very luxurious, upscale community. And the crime rate, like I said in the beginning of this episode, is very low. It ranges between 10 to 15% due to usually petty crime of, mild robbery and maybe like one carjacking every like 2 to 3 months. That's very low compared to the rest of the city. That's higher, obviously. If you go into sections of Forest Park, um, Garnett, which is over near the prison, the famous prison that they falsified mugshots of Donald Trump. Yeah, that's the prison. That's Garnett. Okay. That is very high. That's at like between 40 to 60% of the crime rate. Okay. Right there in that section. But I happen to be in Buckhead, which I love. And obviously it's home to, wealthy and rich celebrities. And that's why I like going there because I feel that I'm much safe in that area than the rest of the city. So I'm going in.
Well, they can afford the extra protection, so
Yeah,
it is a
obviously,
safer
yeah.
area. Yes.
Most of these restaurants have either armed security guards or, police officers in front. I happen to go, towards the middle of the end of the week. Like I said, this was only like a few days ago. So there was really no police presence nor security guards, which was very rare because usually this restaurant does have it. I don't know if it was maybe availability or maybe I just don't know. I can't say. All right. But
Right. And we don't want them to talk about their security
Yeah,
plans and
obviously.
days they do or don't have
Obviously, that's
security.
that's doxing out their plan set, and I don't wanna do that. I don't wanna be that personality to do so. So, I'm coming out of the restaurant, which
Right.
was
Not knowing their plans is
yeah,
part of the deterrence.
yeah. So, I'm coming out of the restaurant, and you know when you have a vibe, Joe, and something's just not right?
You get that spidey sense. Yep.
That was my spidey sense there. That was my vibe. Something just wasn't right. There was like a weird feeling in the environment. And I'm coming out, and when I usually get that vibe, I immediately go into a reaction with, "Oh shit." That's what comes up. I do the Italian like, "Oh shit," like I'm about to get whacked or something, you know what I mean? Like I'm going into a little humor, folks. If you ever watch like Goodfellas or The Godfather or whatever, Irishman, usually they get like, "Oh shit." It's the Italian thing that comes in immediately. So I was like, "Oh shit." Now I'm opening the door, and this Italian restaurant has um, very, very nice heavy set doors. Okay. Italian style doors, right? So I'm opening the door, and then all of a sudden I get, ah, sorry, I didn't mean to do that, but to myself, I'm thinking. So I get, turned, pulled over by this maniac, punches me like at least 3 times in my side.
Sucker punched.
More or
Yeah.
less, yeah.
Yeah.
The first one was really hard, the second one was mild, and the third one I don't remember because I completely blacked out for, like, maybe 5 or 6 seconds. After 6 seconds, I remember waking up on the ground and just stampled on with his foot. I mean, literally, this just like if you were to, you know, gut punch me with your hand, but he's using his foot, and just bang, bang, bang. And at the point, folks, I'm yelling for help. Now, I usually joke around if you've heard me on the show from time to time, from New York, and this and that. Yeah, I'm from New York City originally, folks, but it's been a while since I've lived up there. So my street smarts have more or less gone out the window. You know, I've obviously Atlanta is different from New York, so my mindset was conditioned over the years from living down south.
You've become less guarded.
More
Yes.
or less, yeah. Rightfully so, but I'm yelling for help, and luckily there was this muscle-bound guy, which I don't wanna put him out there, but if he is listening, thank you very much. Um, let's just say his name was Steve, which is not his real name, but I wanna fabricate it for his privacy, obviously. So Steve came up to me, or came up to the situation, excuse me, and basically went into full-blown, defense on my part. I've seen that I was getting my ass whooped, more or less, like, literally, a true mugging in its fashion. Grabbed the guy and literally had his way with him for about almost a minute, trying to get him off me, which he did. And I'm lucky for Steve, okay? This muscle-bound guy, okay, was able there to help me within my defense of getting this lunatic off me. And after this radical maniac, which now they do is after somebody, beats the shit out of them, they show their true colors as a coward and they run away. Okay, which he did. He ran away. Steve then goes to pick me up, You know, Joe, I never had somebody in this modern era of society come to my defense to help me.
Normally, retards will get out their phone and film you getting the shit kicked out of
More
you.
or less, more
Yeah,
or less. If I was in South
the
Atlanta,
pathetic
that probably would have
society,
happened.
yeah, like that
Yeah,
Cincinnati incident. The
yeah.
pathetic society we're living in.
So at that point, to kind of close this out, guys, I promise I wouldn't go into a lengthy episode, but I do. My audience does deserve, including Joe, deserves to understand what happened. So I'm gonna close it out right here with basically saying that at this point, Joe, not only did I shake his hand, but I gave the guy a hug. I hugged him and I said, "Thank you very much," from one man to another.
I
Thank
hope
you,
you're
bro.
buy hope you got his number, hope you're buying him dinner.
We exchanged numbers. Obviously, I gave him my other cell phone, which is the business number. I don't know this guy from Sunday, but I do thank him for what he'd have done, And I said, thank you. I'd like to exchange numbers, and possibly after a couple days of healing a little bit more properly, I'd like to take you out for dinner. Obviously you or your whatever your girlfriend or wife, because he had his girlfriend, or I think it was his wife. I don't want to guess, but one or the other. I said, I'd like to take you guys both out for dinner. Would that be okay? He says, you don't have to do that, sir. He says, I am, and this is where you're gonna like it, guys. He says, I'm a military veteran and I help those in need.
Amen.
And I
That's
said,
good.
I was probably guessing that as I'm looking at you. I mean, he's obviously a little bit bigger than I am, but he
It don't take much to be bigger than you and I. It's like you could tell we're not muscle bound.
he says, I set an obligation to this country to help those in need, both foreign and domestic. And that was a domestic attack on you. So I did what I needed to do. I didn't even
Yeah.
hesitate, Joe. He just like he was coming around the corner by the parking garage right near the restaurant and just immediately just like I mean, it looked like a scene from WWE. I mean, just spearing the guy, like literally like, body slamming him in a way too.
Too bad we don't have camera footage of that.
Well, I'm gonna work with something with the
What
restaurant folks. It is an open investigation. There are police
Yeah,
reports
the
already.
police would have
So
camera
so
and this is where,
I have to get
I
permission by the police
yeah.
department obviously first because I
I have issues with AI, but AI, this is right. All the cameras that exist everywhere,
mm,
AI can monitor those.
mm,
And yeah, okay, it raises privacy issues, but the
yeah,
point would be AI would be looking for something like this out of it wouldn't be about monitoring and taking notes on
mm,
everybody going about their average day, but it's like that shot. Oh, I don't remember what it's called, but it's a system that listens for gunshots and triangulates gunshots. AI watching cameras can spot, oh shit, there's a fight broken out.
mm.
Notify police and they'd be able to be there sooner.
Well, their
Like they,
cameras, Joe, their cameras on this restaurant are pretty state of the art. I mean,
yeah, normally
but
though, they're there for cleanup
but
after the fact. It's
but
happened.
obviously there wasn't security guards or police present, but thank God this guy was here in my defense. Thank God he was there because if he wasn't there, I don't know what have happened. I don't
Yeah.
know if the guy had other people around the corner that would have jumped in. I mean, clearly, folks, it was a true mugging. It was a total beatdown of somebody that's just
It was
minding his own
clearly not
business.
an attempt to rob you, though. It was clearly just
I don't
meant
know.
as
I
an
don't. It could have
assault.
been. It could have been
Well,
Joe if this guy didn't come up to my defense.
Well,
He
that's
could have.
true too.
He
Yeah.
could have. But
But
I
we're
mean, this is.
speculating
Yeah.
that this was a targeted assault due to the show.
Now, I want to make an assumption to that, but clearly, people are going to say, "Well, you were in the wrong place at the wrong time." I'll agree with you on that to an extent, but
Well, not
I'll
if he
also
was
say
there to
I'll
target you.
also say that I was just a man having dinner, mind his own business, and something happened. Something happened. That's all. Something happened that normally doesn't happen in this area. This area is very safe, folks. Buckhead, Atlanta is very, very safe. It's home.
That's why the speculation that he purposefully, willfully, and malice aforethought was stalking you so he could assault you
Mm,
is a pretty valid and sound theory.
mm,
Again, it's speculation, it's a theory, but the cops are looking into that.
mm. Rightfully so. So hopefully, folks, with the permission of Atlanta Police Department, I am able to obtain this footage to be shown on this show. And obviously, I'll have to state why I need the footage. And I hope I can show it. Obviously, the reason why I say that is because, the show is a syndicated podcast as well as others. So, when you say stuff like that, sometimes you get a yes or a no answer. But I just want to let you guys know what happened. I am okay now. The bruising is still there. It's going down, the swelling a little bit, but just letting you guys know I am not going to be myself for the next possibly couple weeks, hopefully maybe a month, depending on how fast the swelling goes down. But
Yeah. Do you have it wrapped with an ace bandage?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's
Try to keep some compression on it, and
yeah.
probably would be good for ice, hot and cold, right? Ice packs and soak in a, fill up the tub, a nice warm hot tub to soak in on occasion
Well, that
till
I
you
have, Joe.
heal.
I ha-
Yeah.
I have a hot tub, and I've been trying to go back and forth, but
Well,
guys,
I mean just a regular tub filled with hot water, but if you've got a literal hot tub access,
yeah,
that obviously would be even better.
yeah. Well, not only am I breaking my own rule, I was trying to just keep this within 10 minutes, but obviously I wasn't able to do that, guys. But I am for those that have gotten to know me, including Joe, over 6, almost 7 years now on the show. I am extremely stubborn, and I am still fighting through the pain for you guys for this show. This maniac is not going to keep me down. I am
It's,
still going to be on the air, and I'm still
yep,
going to air what
yep.
needs to be done.
And that part of my terror strikes coming soon to a city near you. You can't surrender to terrorism. You
Mm,
will only get more of that. That's the left hasn't figured out about crime. Being soft on crime, patting oh, you're really just a victim. Please be better in the future. No, they're criminals. Unless if you lock them up to try to reform them, if they see they're going to get away with crime, they're going to commit more crime.
mm.
You need to crack down on this stuff.
Yeah, and guys, I'll put up the picture here. I wasn't going to do that, but I'll do it anyway. Um, this is a picture of me. Obviously, you could see, guys. What my stomach looks like normally. I do work out from time to time, but yes, I do have a slim to tone set of upper torso, but this is basically what it looks like here. 1 second, it's uploading here. I got it's taking a raw picture here of my X feed. Basically, it's a little distorted, guys, because I took it off my X feed, so I didn't have enough time to you know basically fix the clarity of it. But basically, you see the bruising um, right to the side there, and it has been going down.
Now, did he crack any ribs?
Well, there's one rib, just one rib, Joe. That's basically been not cracked, but broken. So that's going to take some time. The swelling, the
That
doctor
will
said,
take
should
time
go
to heal,
down
yeah.
within about a month, he told me, due to the cream that he prescribed me, which is not an it's a natural antibiotic. Folks that know me, I'm not big on medications, even modern medications. I spend the extra dollars and the extra money, Joe, where I go to holistic doctors. So due to the nature of my family background of cancer and everything running through my family, um, matter of fact, there's only probably about 30% of us left in the Gardner name. So, with my grandparents dying over the course of years, from cancer and heart failure, medication scares the hell out of me. So I revoked it. I've basic not revoked, but I've basically brought my life to more holistic type of practices with medicine due to the nature of that background. So I usually spend a little bit extra money with the holistic medications and stuff like that. So he told me about a month it should go down the swelling, but the broken rib, which was I was lucky only to break one rib. Okay, um, the healing on that will probably depending on how fast my body adheres to the, everybody heals differently, right? So um, that should heal within about 3 to 4 months. He said usually it takes about three months because the tissue lining and all that stuff. So other than that, guys, I'm gonna call to do. I am okay. So those that have been shown concerned already on X.
Well, you're as close to your normal abnormal as possible.
Yeah, yeah. So Maria over there on X, thank you very much for showing the concern there with the image I posted. Get well, Savage. Thank you very much, Maria, and others. I just wanted to say to Maria because she always follows the content, on the show and the episodes and stuff. So, thank you very much, guys. I'm going to call to do here. We'll see you next week, guys, on the Savage Unfiltered show. And other than that, guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to go get some rest. Take it easy, guys.
This had been a Truth Productions media episode. Thank you for listening.